they tell you, my relative has now been in police detention for 3 days. You don't say, I will ask the Directorate of Monitoring to come and attend to you. So we quickly realized that it was important to integrate all functions of the Commission into one app, and that's the background to having the UNHRC app. It is a one-stop center that tells you everything about the Commission. It's no longer necessary now to travel from Arua, Kabale, that you are looking for the UNHRC headquarters to ask a question. The app has a provision for frequently asked questions. In the past, these were in brochures, and if you didn't come to a venue like this one and be served with a physical brochure, you wouldn't know the A to Z about the Uganda Human Rights Commission. So this app has answered that question. Anybody, anywhere in the world right now can access the Commission through the app by clicking on the frequently asked questions. The app, on the app, there is the website, the UNHRC website. You don't have to struggle through various ways. You just go to the website and you read, get detailed information that you would like to know. On the app, we have Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. They are all embedded there for purposes of accessing information in the Commission. If you want to file a complaint, the app is here. You no longer need to walk to the Commission physically or pick a telephone to call. You just click on how to file a complaint. There is an email there that there is a form that you fill in, and you automatically send an email to a standby officer who will be accessing what information you would like to get. So the app answers filing complaints online and very easily. If you want to understand your rights, this is human rights education now, a little bit more, without listening to a radio or attending a workshop in a hotel environment. You click on your rights and you will get to know what is there. If you want to understand the history of the Commission, how did it come into being, you just click on About UNHRC. It will tell you the history of the Commission, how it was established, the functions, and everything. But one might say everything is being done remotely. If you want to chat, there is a provision for chatting. You engage and you are responded to. The app has an answer for that as well. Many people ask, where are you located? Even if I sampled here, some people may not reach the UNHRC headquarters. There are so many offices in Kampala. You just go on the app and it will give you the location via Google, and you don't have to ask anybody. You end up arriving at the office. The same is true for the 12 regional offices across the country. We all travel here. There is usually signposts welcoming you to Mbarara when you are in Biharwe. Those who know that side, you find a signpost in Mukono welcoming you to Kampala, but it does not exactly show you or tell you where the office is located. But while in the comfort of your vehicle or any other means of transport, as you are about to access Kabale, you click to find out where is the UNHRC office. It will automatically lead you there in real time. So, ladies and gentlemen, by way of background, that is the UNHRC app. We would like everybody who has access to internet, who has access to a smartphone and a computer to access the Commission. And this, for people listening to us even out there, Even if you don't own a mobile phone of your own, you can still ask a neighbor to help you access the UNHRC. With our friendliness in this country, you will be able to be served. The MC earlier on mentioned about the number of people with mobile phones. It started slowly. I remember personally, I was still a student. I didn't have a mobile phone at the time in 1997. But if I wanted to communicate to somebody, I could ask a friend, and then he gives you a phone, and you speak to the person you want to speak to. So don't fail to reach out to the commission through this app on account of that you don't have a personal phone. There are people out there who are willing to help. Just as you ask at a border stage, where is this office? And somebody directs you, you could as well be helped and directed through the app. So in our midst, we have Mr. Gabriel Haua. As a commission, we embarked on this on our own, but we needed somebody more technical to assist us. We engaged the services of a consultant, Data Track. We are happy he's here with us. The MC didn't recognize you, but he said he would recognize others later. I'm helping him to introduce you. This is the man with whom we have worked to have this app running. As I conclude, now this I say on behalf of the Secretary to the Commission once again, we would like to thank the government of the Republic of Uganda. This app was financed by the government of the Republic of Uganda, and we don't take that for granted. We look forward, Honorable Minister, to more support as we delve into the technological era where everybody wants to work from home, to work from Nairobi, to access the commission when one is on leave in Zanzibar. So we thank the government of the Republic of Uganda for the funding that enabled us to make this, to develop this app. But like you know, government of Uganda works with development partners. The exercise would not have been complete without the kind support of GIZ that has supported the dissemination, not only today here, but this dissemination exercise is going to be taken throughout the country with the support by GIZ to all our 12 region offices, because for one reason or the other, viewers from Gulu may not be with us now, but when it is done in Gulu City, it will get to a wider community, and that is already programmed. So we'd like to thank GIZ for that kind support as well. Once again, we welcome you and request you to feel free. We are very happy, and we look forward to enhancing the protection and promotion of human rights using this app. Thank you for your kind attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's kindly thank Mr. Kamadi with a better hand clap. Allow me, he has recognized GIZ for their generous contribution towards especially the maintenance and integration of the app and in the establishment of the system. They have helped a lot. GIZ is here represented by Francesca Betts, who is in charge of governance and governance programs, and on especially the human rights aspect. Thank you very much. I wish now to invite the Honorable Minister to take up the seat in front, accompanied by the chairperson of the commission and the deputy ambassador of Germany. Kindly, I think all of you are very good students of the Bible. You know, in the Bible they say, you sit down and then you will be lifted up. So I wish to kindly lift the three of you up. With all the humility, kindly come and sit in front. Specifically, also, ladies and gentlemen, I earlier recognized the commissioners of the Uganda Human Rights Commission who are here present with their chairperson, but allow me formally acknowledge my friend, Mr. Kaheru Crispy, who is a commissioner with the Uganda Human Rights Commission. Kindly come, stand up for recognition. That's Crispy Kaheru. We also have Madame Shifra Lukwago, who is also a commissioner with the Uganda Human Rights Commission. Madame Shifra, kindly stand up for recognition. She has already done that. Thank you all very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a question and answer session for about 20 minutes, very important for the different representatives here to ask a question to anybody, especially from the commission or to the systems guys, how this app will work and its purpose and usefulness. Feel free to ask anybody who is relevant to the app, especially guys from the Uganda Human Rights Commission on its usage and purpose, so that you don't go away with any question, and to know that this is being broadcast live across the country. And I will now take the privilege to invite my, my colleague, Mr. Romeo Busiku from NTV, to come and guide us on the question, through the question and answer session. Mr. Busiku, you're most welcome. Let's put our hands together to welcome him, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. A very good morning. Thank you all for joining us today. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. History in the making indeed. The UNHRC app. But to me, history was made when the Uganda Human Rights Commission was fully constituted. Talking about the chairperson, Honorable Maria Mwangadia, Honorable Shifra, Honorable Crispin Kaheru, it means now the tribunal can actually sit and they could actually start investigations and all those props that we've been waiting for the longest time. And indeed, to me, that was when history was made. But today, yes, the Uganda Human Rights Commission's app is also a game changer indeed. Imagine if you are a noob supporter somewhere, you know, you underwent some human rights violations, but you've been fearing to leave your house. Like, where am I going to report? What if I'm picked up again by a drone? Now, what you have to do is just pick up your phone, download the UNHRC app, and then you file a complaint. If you're in Karamoja, and there's an issue within the Karamoja sub-region, and you're like, okay, how am I going to go to a regional office, one of the 12 regional offices of the UNHRC, or the 11 field offices? How am I going to access them? You just have to get your phone, download this UNHRC app, and you'll be able to file a complaint. Doesn't matter where you are. If you are an Android user like myself, you just have to go to Google Play, and you'll be able to download the UNHRC app. If you are having an iPhone, the iOS software, you can actually go to the App Store. You'll be able to access the UNHRC app. And of course, this is a Q&A session. If you have any questions, of course, we are more than glad to take them. Honorable Maria Mwangadia will be responding, and the other members of the Uganda Human Rights Commission. With a show of hands, I'll be picking you randomly one by one. All right, whom do we start with? All right, whom do we start with? Who wants to go first? Any questions about the Uganda Human Rights app? Any questions from the members of the public? No questions? All right.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Balinya Suleiman. I'm from Uganda National Association of the Deaf. I'm representing our ED,
Robert Nkwangu.
Robert Nkwangu. I would like to thank our partners and also the government of Uganda for this creative act, developing the app, which is important for us, people who are far away from the central. I would like to ask a question. Truly here in Uganda, maybe Africa here, the Pearl of Africa, sign language was approved in 1995 in the Constitution, and it was the first in Africa to approve sign language. And also Human Rights Commission started in 1996. We want to thank you because it's been a long process, but now I would like to ask, we the deaf people, how can we access this app? One, in Uganda, we have 1 million deaf people, according to the statistics. Secondly, in Uganda, the deaf people, 98% of them depend on signing. They didn't learn, so they depend on signing. They are not educated. So my question is there any way you can maybe make it signed words, or so that the deaf people can also access it? Because the deaf people may understand the sign than the wordings. Then we thank you if you consider that.
All right, Director Kamadi Bionavye, I think you have to respond to that. All right, let's talk to Gabriel Kauka, the system developer. He has a lot of knowledge and information about this and how the deaf and persons with disabilities will be able to actually galvanize and benefit from this app. Sir, welcome.
Yes, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Gabriel Kauka from DataTrack. I'm happy to be associated with the Uganda Human Rights Commission in the development of this app. I'll take a chance to respond to the question that has been raised. Definitely, the UNHRC app has started a journey, and some of the observations that have been made is the need to continue in upgrading its functions. One of the functions that has been asked about is definitely not in the app so far, but it's a good idea to have it integrated so that users who would want to access it, just like the question that has been raised, are able to look into it and use those functions. So, in short, the feature is not enabled, but we believe that these are things that should eventually come into the app.
What else should we know about this app, Gabriel?
I think I will respond to that by saying, in fact, from the speeches that have been made, even me, the developer, have begun to appreciate so many things. The ease of access. You know, when the Uganda Human Rights Commission came up with this idea, they explained to us what they need, and as we had people share the challenges that have been there, most of it is coming to light. Just being able to interact directly with the app from wherever you are, regardless of the distance you are from the commission. After developing this app, when I was hearing people talking, I started picking interest in going to look at how to access the offices, for example. I think just some people would like to know about the commission. All these functions are now available, and it's very nice to have them at the click, at your fingertips on your phone, as opposed to if you have to make phone calls to people, ask for services that you can't easily access. So I feel that as we venture into this direction of using the mobile app, the level of inclusion will grow. So the functionalities are very clear, as Director Kamadi had elaborated.
Yeah.
I think I will leave it at, I will not chip into what he has said. I'll leave it where.
Indeed. But you can take us through the criteria that could be followed by our dear people who are watching this stream to actually, file a complaint. What do they have to do after downloading the app?
Okay. The first thing that you should know about the app is you have to download it on your smartphone. That is the first thing you always have to know. Currently, the app is available on Android phones. I'm sure that this will be available very soon also on the Apple phones. There are some technicalities that are being handled administratively to see to it that you have it. So once you have the Android downloaded on your phone, the next thing is to query the functions of the app. For example, you have asked about raising a complaint. The way that this works in the app is that you will have an icon, complaint, and when you click on it, the app will ask you to log in with simple credentials that will include your email address and your mobile phone. If you're not logged into the app, then you are not able to interact with the complaints module. When you file a complaint while logged in, an email will be sent to the Human Rights Commission. And that email is eventually integrated in the internal processes to help you get those services. The information that we capture during the complaint registration includes your mobile phone number, your email, and this will help the staff at Commission to get back to you. Then, just looking at another more interactive function on top of the complaints, there are times when somebody wants to chat live with the Commission. When you log into the app, at the bottom, you will see chat with us. And once you start a chat with the Commission, there are bots, we say robots, that will attend to your initial queries, ask you to fill in an email address, and if there is nobody online, the chat function will inform you that there is nobody online, but allow you to still proceed and chat. That chat will be routed to the Commission via email until somebody is available to attend to you. Now, if you are not being attended to immediately, the results of that chat will be fed into your email. So that makes it easy for you to have back and forth communication with the Commission. Now, looking at another function, I will talk of the offices. Of course, for every office, there is a phone number that relates to that office. There is directions that describe where that offices are. There is an option to send an SMS. There is an option to call directly from within the app. So this should allow you to interact directly from wherever you are and with a lot of ease. Thank you.
Of course, Gabriel, you can hold your horses there. Of course, Balunya Sulaiman spoke on behalf of the deaf. But what about the blind? How are they going to be able to download this app and even operate it? $64,000 question.
Yes. Okay, that's an interesting one. Definitely, as a technology innovator, we always we are in the industry to keep on thinking and innovating on how this is possible. Actually, when the issue of the deaf came in, there were already ideas going into our minds, and I think we had discussed with the IT team at Commission, and the purpose here is, or rather the most important thing here is the need to start. Because once we start, then everything else is possible.
Indeed.
Thank you.
All right, that is Gabriel Kawaka. Thank you so much. The developer of the app that we are talking about, the Uganda Human Rights Commission app, which was made possible with support from the Germany International Agency for Cooperation. They've been doing a lot of work right here within Uganda. And of course, this app is a game changer, like I said, and that goes without saying, because we do have a QR code here. Yeah, if you are in our midst right here, and you know, you're having some hard time downloading this app, you can just go and scan that QR code over there, and you'll be able to download it automatically. Gabriel, I think you can expand more on how people can actually download this app by just simply scanning the QR code. Yes. Gabriel, expand more on that. On the banner, there's a QR code. I'm being told you can just go there and just put your phone, scan the QR code, and it will automatically download this app.
Yeah, thank you.
Is that a preserve for people only in here, or we can find these QR codes all over the country?
Yes, the QR code shall be available even. Hello? Okay. The QR code available on the website. Why we use the QR code is because sometimes when you go into the Google store, you may see so many, you may have challenges trying to search for what you want exactly. So when you go to the website, I think I have a banner there at the bottom, and today the QR code is available on the banners. So what one will need to do is to turn on your QR code scanner on the phone, and then you scan that code. What it will do is it will take you directly to the app in the store. That is the Google store. And then it's from there that you will initiate the installation of the app. Thank you. This will be available on the website and in other platforms, like in documents that are being circulated with relation to the mobile app. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Gabriel Kauka. All right, the members in our midst, if you still have any questions, the floor is still open. We have some more 20 minutes to actually deliberate on these issues. It's really important. Gentlemen, yes. Remember, this app is a game changer. If you're in Karamoja, you don't have to move a muscle. You just have to download the app, and you'll be able to file a complaint. If you're in, that is Bundibujo, you still do not have to move a muscle. Just file a complaint using the app. Just download it. Gentlemen, very good morning. Your name?
Thank you very much. Name is Samuel Herbert Nsubuga, the African Center for Treatment and Rehabilitation of Torture Victims. My question is, when will the UNHRC app be on the App Store? Just that. Thank you.
I'd mentioned it's already there, but Gabriel can assure you that it's already there. Yeah. Android users can go to Google Play, and iPhone users can go to the App Store. Gabriel, just for confirmation.
The app is to be launched today. And today, as we launch, it shall be available on Google Play Store. Due to some administrative matters that are being handled by the Commission, the app has not yet been, may not be available on the Apple Store, but I'm thinking we are optimistic. Very soon we shall also have it on the Apple Store.
All right, I see. Thank you so much, Gabriel. I also do have a question here. Someone here is asking what kind of queries or complaints will be fed into this app? Yes, what kind of queries am I supposed to fill into this app? I think that's for you, Mr. Kamadi Bionabi. Someone is wondering the nature of queries or complaints that are supposed to be fed into this app. Land grabbing issues, political prisoners, abductions. What are we talking about, really?
Article 52 of the Constitution provides for the functions of the Uganda Human Rights Commission. The very first one is to investigate complaints of human rights violations at its own initiative or on a complaint made by any person. Now, what is protected online is also protected offline. We've been offline handling all sorts of complaints. So there is no special complaint that is meant to be filed using the app. Or any complaint of human rights violation that we've been receiving offline can as well be lodged with the commission online. As simple as that. Now, the human rights issues, the human rights that are usually violated are many. You cannot say that it will be right to property. You cannot guess that it will be liberty. You cannot guess that it will be right to food. So it depends on any human right, a violation. And these rights are enshrined in Chapter 4 of our Constitution. There are quite many, ranging from freedom from torture, right to a fair hearing, right to liberty, right to food, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of worship, equality and non-discrimination. The list is not exhaustive.
I have another question here. How quick is the responsiveness of this app? If I file a complaint on a Monday, how soon should I get a response from the UNHRC? If I file a complaint in Karamoja, would I be warranted to leave Karamoja at some point to come physically to any of the offices after filing the complaint, or the UNHRC can come to me in Karamoja to ascertain or assess my situation?
The UNHRC will come to you to Karamoja. So people should not worry. And the developer mentioned it here. The moment you file your complaint through an email, then our designated officers do follow up immediately. Actually, in our midst here, we have ASHA. ASHA stand up for recognition. That is one of our officers who handles the complaints online. And she has been at it through Twitter, through YouTube, Instagram, and whatever. And therefore, even this one, she's very ready even where she is there with her gadgets. Now, so when you file in your complaint, she looks at it. Of course, there's what we call the admissibility criteria. What happens is the public will come to the commission with any sort of complaint, but we usually filter it using the admissibility criteria if it is compatible with the human rights standards. But we also have a referral system which we will also use in this very app. Somebody will be advised that the matter you have raised with us can best be handled by the Inspectorate of Government. The matter you have lodged with us through the app can easily be handled by the industrial court or something like that. Yeah, but you don't have to file a complaint through the app and then walk. If that was the case, then the reason for why the app has been developed would be defeated. Yeah, because we want to ease access online from wherever the person is.
You can stick around. I still have another question here. Just for our viewers, if you can follow the conversation on Twitter using the hashtag UNHRC app launch, UNHRC app launch. And of course, I do have so many questions here. Someone here says there is low internet coverage, especially in the rural areas where there are widespread human rights violations, if you know what I'm talking about. If it's a human rights violation, there are more chances that it's happening within the rural settings. And someone is wondering, with low coverage of the internet, how will people within these areas be able to download this app and be able to also file their complaints?
Now, the issue of internet coverage is the issue for government. We are lucky the Honorable Minister of Information, Communication, Technology, and National Guidance is here. I'm sure he will guide us on that when time comes. I cannot say that the Commission will provide internet. That is not part of the game.
In fact, let's invite him right now. The Minister of State for ICT, please come over and let us in on the modalities of how best we are going to be advancing internet to the rural areas where it's much needed. If we are talking about a human rights violation, chances are it's happening within the rural areas because the rich people take advantage of the poor who are largely within the rural settings. Go ahead, sir.
First of all, I thank the Commission for this very wonderful and new development. As a ministry in charge of digital acceleration, that means we are working. When you develop this app, it's us who have worked. For you, you're on human rights, this is our work now. So in our achievements, we shall say an app was developed by UNHRC. But on issues to do with the internet, those who follow Parliament very well, last week, Parliament passed a loan for what we called the last mile. We are trying to assure in the next 2 to 3 years, internet reaches the parish. Because under parish development model, we have what we call the parish model management information system. So the whole monitoring and evaluation and supervision will be driven by that system. And therefore, we must have internet at the parish. So that loan, it is for the last mile. We are coming to Parliament again, I think next week, for another loan of phase 5 of the national backbone infrastructure, the highway for internet. And then that one will mean we are taking now internet to all regions of the country. But meanwhile, we want the highway to find when we have made enough distribution lines so that when it comes, they just hook on the backbone immediately. So we are working on that, and in the next 2 to 3 years, internet will be everywhere. But we are also trying to see how more people can be hooked to internet. The biggest problem now, most of the people own 2G phones, so they cannot go to internet.
Indeed.
Now we are trying to see how we can, people can upgrade to 3G and 4G, so that more people can be hooked on the internet. And for the poor communities, we have even started trying to see whether if they get 3G, they can go on internet. So we have made pilot projects. We go to a village, we get their 2G phones from them, and we give them handsets of 3G. And we have seen as soon as they get 3G, they get on internet. So that's what we are trying. And obviously, we are also trying to see how internet can be as affordable as possible, because the backbone can handle accessibility, but then affordability is also important. So we are trying to see how internet the cost of internet can go down. So we are happy that Human Rights Commission is coming up with this infrastructure. We are going on run IUI.
And of course, the ICT Ministry in the past had a conversation around how best to avail cheaper smartphones for our people within the country. And indeed, that conversation shall also come alive at some other point, because we are running out of time at this opportune moment. Yes, gentlemen, you can take over the podium, and after that we shall talk to the Deputy German Ambassador to Uganda, His Excellency Hans von Schroeder, later on.
Thank you so much. A very
Your name,
good
sir?
morning. Thank you so much. A very good morning. My name is Serwaji Habib. I'm a member of the Equal Opportunities Commission. I'd like to thank the Uganda Human Rights for this app. And one, I'd like to also reinstate that the most affected people who get violations of the human rights are the vulnerable people, the marginalized people, the elderly, PWDs, the deaf, and I'm happy the minister is here to answer some of these queries. Besides having this app, which is very good, also we need more physical presence of the Human Rights Commission offices, because you have regional offices, the vulnerable people cannot move to those places because it's expensive for them. And there is no internet. Internet connectivity is a bit so slow right now. And even the reach where the internet is, it's not in very many regions. What do we do as a commission in this short time response? Yes, getting a loan, developing the internet infrastructure is good, but it will take time. It could take 2, 3 years, 4 years. The violations are going on. This is therefore a request or a call to the development partners and government to give more support to these institutions that promote human rights so that they can be, besides the modern approach like the UNHRC app, we also have physical presence, at least in sub-regional areas, so that people are able to access these rights commissions. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Mr. Bionabi, there is a critical issue here I needed you to respond to before I usher in His Excellency Hans von Schroeder. There is an issue on the high levels of illiteracy within our country, and there is a suggestion to have some kind of transcription on the app, maybe to other languages, because some people are not really savvy when it comes to English. So, transcribing.
Everything needs resources. It's a wonderful idea. Like the consultant has said, you have to start from somewhere. The journey has started. Yeah, I cannot say today or tomorrow that will be done, but certainly it is something that will be considered.
And of course, there is also another biting issue I wanted Gabriel to respond to, the issue of privacy. Is information safe online? Am I safe when I, file a complaint? Shouldn't I worry that someone is going to hack into the system and get to know what I filed as a complaint and then come back home, to my home, and attack me over the same?
Yes, thank you very much. When it comes to privacy, security, actually, one reason why we front apps as a mechanism for communication is because a lot is done before they are put in place. And that brings me back to, yes, there's a firewall, and I was explaining earlier that we had some discussions with Apple to get the app on the Apple Store. It's always a process, and as technical experts, we also put that in place. All the information, the chats, and the emails that you are sharing, your personal information is secure with the Commission. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Bionabia?
You remember, I'm also putting on the hat a court of the Secretary to the Commission. The contract with Apple has already been entered into, and in a matter of 1 or 2 days, it will be there. So there shouldn't be worry about that.
All right, at this opportune moment, let me invite, you had a comment?
Just as the Secretary has said, the presence of UNHCR in every district or region will be very, very complicated. Now, as government, under the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, we are going to turn all post offices into one-stop centers. Like in Kenya, you have heard of the Huduma centers. So we are now turning all post offices into one-stop centers, where you can go and then you get any government service at any time. So if there is a post office near you and you're a poor person, you go there, the post office guy logs you on the app. And you immediately communicate, so that we don't have government offices everywhere in every region. We should have one office which can coordinate all government offices. It's already working very well in Kasese now. We have a one-stop center where all agencies have desks, And those which don't have desks have designated district officers to be in charge of receiving complaints. But the most important thing at the post office, the postmaster can log you on the app and immediately you transact. That's what we are going to do as government.
Well, thank you so much. We are here to launch the Uganda Human Rights Commission's app. Yes, it's a big game changer. All right, we have another speaker in our midst.
Honorable Minister, distinguished guests, thank you so much for this. I want to add my voice to thank Uganda Human Rights Commission for this app. As you well know, I'm called Frank Baine, the prison spokesperson. You very well know we are among the biggest consumers of your products.
Good one. That's a good one.
So my question is, what provisions are you putting to link this app into the operations of Uganda Prison Service, and more especially for the inmates, so that they don't have to wait until they are released, then they look for the smartphone, and then they start complaining. Thank you very much.
Wow, that is really, really transparent. Advocating for the prisoners so that they could be able to... It's a question that could go to the commissioner. Honorable Mwanga, you can respond to that.
I request the technical person, Mr. Hauha, to respond.
The prisoners within our prison system, while they are still in jail, how can they get some kind of justice and file complaints before they leave?
Okay, thank you. Definitely one area that is important for the app is the integration with the tools that are available from prisons, from police, and from other players. Currently, we have basic integrations in the app, but looking to the future, we believe that integrating with the functions at the prison will be possible to address that gap between the prisoner. You said the prisoner doesn't have access to a phone. Yes. You see, an app being what it is requires that somebody accesses it. And whether it is a prisoner not being able to access, but if a person in connection with the prisoner could get to access, then it would make life easier for the prisoner. For example, if an official at the prison could use the app to quickly communicate an incident, it would also work in favor of the prisoner. Yes, but these are what I like about this is that the ideas are coming up, and as a consultant, what makes me happy is to look for opportunities to make the app, to bring the app much closer to the public. Yeah. Thank you.
Internet. Yes, there's a very critical question here from Twitter, because we have a hashtag UHRC app launch. We don't really want to neglect the people on the other side. And someone who is wondering, because from the death of Medikagwa, the former chairman of the Uganda Human Rights Commission, so many cases have been gathering dust because the Uganda Human Rights Commission was not fully constituted before Honorable Wanga Diamariam took over as chairperson of the same. So now with the new cases that we are going to be filing on the app, which is going to be handled first? The previous cases that have been gathering dust, or the new cases? How are you going to be juggling this issue of past cases and the present ones?
The cases are usually handled on first come, first serve basis. It doesn't matter whether it has come online or offline. So there is no preferential treatment. they will be handled in line with the current system. Nothing has changed and nothing is going to change. First in, first out. I think that is the fairest way of handling affairs. No preferential treatment.
And of course, many thanks to our viewers online. Please keep the liveness going. UHRC app launch is the hashtag. At this opportune moment, let me invite the Deputy German Ambassador to Uganda, His Excellency Hans von Schroeder. Welcome, sir.
Good morning. Honorable Minister of State for ICT and National Guidance, Mr. Godfrey Balunga Kabyanga, Honorable Mariam Wangadia, Chairperson of the Uganda Human Rights Commission, Mr. Kamadi, thank you very much for your introductory remarks. UHRC staff I can see here present. I also see a representative, the deputy country representative of the Office of the High Commissioner of Human Rights. Good morning. Representatives of ministries, departments, agencies, representatives of civil society, viewers following us on internet and TV. Dear colleagues from GIZ, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure to be here with you today for the launch of the UHRC mobile phone app. The purpose of this app is twofold. Firstly, making Ugandan citizens aware of their fundamental rights. And secondly, we heard already about it, making a very easy to use channel for citizens available, which allows to report human rights concerns to the Uganda Human Rights Commission. And thirdly, that I found out myself when I downloaded the app yesterday, it is also an excellent way to learn more about the role and the mandate of the Uganda Human Rights Commission. Thank you very much for that. The past couple of years, and especially the COVID-19 pandemic, have underlined the increasing importance of using digital communication tools. I'm very glad that the Commission is embracing this trend, as well as has developed this digital application, which we are officially launching today. German Development Corporation has been working closely with UNHRC since 2013. Currently, GIZ implements our support to the UNHRC via Germany's advisory program on good governance and civil society, also known as CASP. UNHRC is a key partner of our cooperation on good governance, and Germany is keen to support the Commission in fulfilling its important and demanding mandate. In fact, human rights are one of the underlying key principles of the Ugandan-German Development Cooperation Partnership. Strengthening human rights in the context of the digital transition is also one of the top priorities in Germany's current action plan for human rights. In addition, and I don't have to mention that, human rights are also at the heart of the Agenda 2030 of the United Nations. We might not be known, might not be known to everyone. The Agenda 2030 explicitly emphasizes the use of digital tools, not only as an enabler for the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, but also as an enabler for the inclusion, involvement, and participation of those parts of society that are often marginalized. The Commission's app, therefore, is a highly appreciated step in the right direction, and I'm sure that also the technical background, the backbone, and the last mile the Minister mentioned will be solved in the coming years. this is the trend. It's also a trend in Germany, by the way. We are constantly discussing digitization of public offers and public services. We have not reached a sufficient step there. I believe that it will help enable the dissemination of human rights information faster and more efficiently. I also do hope that it will help make the complaints procedures easier and more accessible, including for women, youth, and persons with disabilities. Let me highlight one further example of German support in the area of human rights and digitization. Germany has been supporting the so-called Digital Human Rights Lab. To put it concisely, the lab is a network of Ugandan civil society actors seeking to strengthen and promote human rights in an increasingly digitalized world. The lab also, to draw the link to the Commission's app, seeks to utilize the potentials of digitization for human rights work. Before concluding, let me emphasize that Germany stands ready to continue supporting the UNHRC in exploring new paths towards linking digitization and human rights. It is my sincere hope that thanks to digital innovation, the Commission will be able to considerably strengthen the delivery of its mandate. I now look forward to seeing the new UNHRC app used in practice and maybe even developed further based on user feedback that it will receive in the future. So when you start talking about the version 2.0 or 3.0, I know that there's a development going on. Last but not least, I would like to thank my colleagues from GIZ for supporting the UNHRC in integrating the app into the workflow and the procedures of the Commission. With this, I would encourage all of you following us today, please download the app and just click, as the slogan of the app is suggesting. Thank you for listening to me.
His Excellency Hans von Schroeder, Deputy German Ambassador to Uganda. And of course, he reminds us about the COVID-19 pandemic and how we grappled. You remember during the lockdowns, you couldn't move from one place to another. And if you had this app by then, it would have been so easy for some people to file their complaints during that opportune moment when it comes to advancement of justice and accessing these government institutions that advance justice in that regard. All right, let me hand over the podium to my colleague. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Let's put our hands together to thank Mr. Busiku Romeo for leading us through the last few sessions. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me now take this opportunity to invite the chairperson of the Uganda Human Rights Commission, Honorable Wangadia, to come and talk to us, and then invite the chief guest, the Minister for ICT, to launch the app. Honorable Wangadia, you're most welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, after a good breakfast, I think we should have some energy to appreciate those who are coming to talk to us. Thank you. Madam, you're most welcome.
Thank you, moderator. Our chief guest, the Honorable Minister of ICT and the National Guidance, Honorable Godfrey Kabyanga, the Deputy Ambassador of Germany, members of the Uganda Human Rights Commission, Mr. Habib Sirwaji, member of the Equal Opportunities Commission, heads and representatives of government MDAs, representatives of our development partners, GIZ, and the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, Mr. Subuga, the Executive Director of the African Center for for the treatment and rehabilitation of torture victims, heads and representatives of civil society organizations, the media fraternity, Director, Education, Research and Documentation, and your team, staff of the Human Rights Commission, ladies and gentlemen. The theme for today is just click, and I'll tell you why. That is our theme for today. This is a great day for Uganda Human Rights Commission, for all people, both rights holders and duty bearers, for all human rights defenders, for all stakeholders in the protection and promotion of human rights. I'm delighted to welcome you all to this occasion when we launch the UNHRC app, our latest innovation that will enhance our efficiency and effectiveness in fulfilling our constitutional mandate to protect and promote human rights. Thank you, the chief guest, for accepting to preside over this launch. Let me also express the Commission's special thanks to the Ambassador of Germany in Uganda for your presence here and for the enormous financial support which GIZ provided to us to organize this occasion. Thank you, GIZ, for your very beneficial partnership. Thank you all our partners and stakeholders here for gracing this occasion with your personal presence and joining in the celebration of our milestone, which in essence is your milestone too. It is a milestone for every human being in this global, now borderless, virtual village. I hope you are all enjoying our modest hospitality. And thank you, Silver Springs Hotel. Since Kamadi has already briefed you about the UNHRC app, let me emphasize that the Commission is alive to the fact that the world is already in a new information age. We have witnessed how the internet has revolutionized and transformed the generation, storage, retrieval, dissemination, and receipt of information. We are living in times when the internet has comprehensively changed the communication dynamics because information can now be shared in real time. With the internet's virtual reach, the hitherto barrier to information sharing caused by physical distances is no more. The new reality was particularly evident during the lockdowns of the COVID-19 pandemic about 3 years ago. Internet-based resources took over as life, business, and work migrated to the digital spaces, not as the luxury they once were, but as a necessity for individuals and entities. The shift to cyberspace became, for many, the most effective or even the only alternative at the time. Apparently, it was even a point of no return for many because they have now totally embraced the digital migration. Importantly too, it was a wake-up call for us all who are mandated to serve the people that it would be inevitable to follow them to the cyberspace. Honorable Minister, your ministry is the custodian of the statistics and trends of the increasing numbers of internet users, the soaring subscriptions for mobile phone lines, particularly the smartphone, and the skyrocketing use of social media. You can bear me witness that taking advantage of all this is the way to go for all of us. The Uganda Human Rights Commission already has a number of internet-based resources, such as our website, the HURIS, or Human Rights Information System, the Navision, which is for financial management, the Human Rights Recommendations Database stroke research engine for tracking the implementation of recommendations on human rights by government MDAs, the e-library, and Koha for cataloging, among others, in addition to other government systems that are statutory. For our information and communication resources, we have emails, social media platforms including Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, Instagram, and a YouTube channel. The UNHRC app is therefore merely the latest in our efforts to reach our clients, partners, and stakeholders, wherever they may be. Apps were pioneered largely by businesses. However, we are increasingly seeing how critical they are for information on human rights to enable citizens enjoy their rights, defend and claim them when they are violated, and participate in their governance. Apps have expanded the options and now are facilitating the enhancement and access to health and education services, justice, and association rights such as family interactions, mobilization for political and social causes, to mention but few. We have faith in the benefits that the UNHRC app will bring to our service delivery and to the enjoyment of human rights generally. Let me say that we, Human Rights Commission family, are very proud of this app. And if no one else will be, we shall appreciate it ourselves. Thank you. It's real-time information exchange and engagement. The faster lodging of complaints without having to first travel to our offices, the convenience to our clientele, and noteworthy, its usability by persons with hearing impairments, all give us the confidence that our service delivery will improve. Human rights remain fundamental, on and offline. Honorable Minister, kindly deliver our appreciation to the government of Uganda for making available the infrastructure for digital spaces, providing an enabling environment for the service providers to operate, and making it relatively safe for the people to use the available facilities. However, we are also making a passionate appeal to the government to pay equal attention to the other elements necessary for the enjoyment of human rights, which we are discussing, such as accessibility, affordability, acceptability, and equality. It would be unfortunate if the UNHRC app serves just the same people who already can afford to physically reach our offices, hire lawyers, or who can use their connections to get heard. The UNHRC app will serve many more people when the smartphones and data are made more affordable and accessible equally for men, women, youth, and children in both rural and urban settings and across socio-economic divides, and when their user capacities and responsibility are enhanced. It will be more beneficial when the internet network reaches everywhere in Uganda, when effective and human rights-based regulation of content ensures that the good overrides the bad, and safeguards our economy, politics, and social cultural values, when assistive mechanisms increase its access for persons with disabilities, as well as other access and quality challenges that need to be addressed. Moreover, we know for a fact that this new technology has been embraced more by the youth, many of whom still need support and facilitation to fully utilize the resources. In addition, the government needs to provide the Commission with the adequate resources required to meet the high costs of maintaining, updating, supporting, and publicizing the app and the other internet-based resources. In so doing, the government will be fulfilling its state obligations on human rights to respect rights, protect rights holders from exploitation and abuse by third parties, and to ensure that there exists a conducive atmosphere for the enjoyment of human rights. Honorable Minister, it is our wish to take sensitization workshops on this app across the country to every sub-county and village in Uganda. But we don't have the resources for that purpose. Actually, I've even been wondering, I apologize for saying this, that this app will lead to increase in the complaints we are going to receive henceforth. We need to be able to investigate those complaints. We need to be able to convene tribunals, tribunal sessions, and where necessary, hear particular cases and give redress. But in the absence of resources, what then will this app lead to? Floodgates of complaints, but without the capacity to act upon them. Honorable Minister, I want to take advantage of your presence here, and that's why I'm saying this, that we seem to be the only constitutional body without the necessary resources to enable us do our work, to the extent that I sometimes wonder, question my own usefulness to the country as a chairperson of the commission without the tools to deliver on the mandate of the commission. What exactly am I doing in my office as chairperson? We are looking forward to ensuring that internet resources such as this UNHRC app truly become new opportunities for citizens to share information and ideas, participate in public life, and defend their rights. We hope the app can effectively support the work of intermediaries such as human rights defenders, the media, justice professionals, law enforcement officers, and other duty bearers to actualize enjoyment of human rights for all. The Human Rights Commission app is a demonstration of our forward steps in the Commission's quest to enhance protection and promotion of human rights. We therefore appeal to you in all your respective capacities to publicize this app, share the information about its existence with all your clientele and stakeholders, and most importantly, use it yourselves. As I end, once again I want, through you, Honorable Minister, to request the government to avail resources to the Uganda Human Rights Commission to be able to carry out just the basic duties of the commission. It's not okay for us to earn a salary without working, however meager that salary is. Like I said before, that the theme for today is just click. So I say to you that after here, just click. Thank you very much once again for your kind attention. I now take the honor to invite you, Honorable Minister, our chief guest, the Minister for ICT and National Guidance, to address us and to launch the UNHRC app. Thank you.
Good morning to you all. The chairperson of Uganda Human Rights Commission, the deputy ambassador, of German to Uganda, members of the Human Rights Commission, members of Equal Opportunities Commission, heads and representatives of government MDAs and agencies, representatives of development partners, heads and representatives of civil society organizations, members of the media, the staff of Human Rights Commission, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to bring apologies from my minister, my senior minister, Honorable Chris Bariumusi, the Minister of ICT and National Guidance, who would have loved to be here to launch this app, but right now he's with His Excellency the President in Vietnam on state duties. So I take the privilege to come here and deliver his speech and also launch on his behalf. I first of all would like to thank the Human Rights Commission for inviting us as Minister of ICT and National Guidance at this launch. And I would also like to thank you for the work you are doing. I know it is very, very difficult work. But every time you release a report, whether it is for or against government, for us as the NRM government, it is a plus to our democracy and governance credentials. So please, within that meager resources, work and work and work and listen to the people and bring out all these human rights violations, either against citizens. There are also violations against the government that you should also bring forward. But we thank you for the work well done. The government of the Republic of Uganda is committed to ensuring the citizens access information to enable them participate in their governance and access services that enhance their well-being, which is in line with the people's fundamental rights and freedoms, as enshrined in Chapter 4 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. And in a bid to put in place an enabling environment to enhance and strengthen government's commitment in this endeavor, a comprehensive legal regime has been put in place, and this includes the enactment of the Access to Information Act, the National Information Technology Authority Uganda Act, and the creation of a specific ministry in charge of ICT and national guidance. And a myriad of interventions are being done by the ministry to ensure a sustained momentum for all Ugandans to access information with ease. So this app is one of the achievements of the ministry this financial year, because we are in charge of regulating and supervising and the development of the apps. So thank you very much for doing this work. It's a very, very good achievement. And access to information is one of the most important things in your work, because people must really know what the Human Rights Commission is doing, and they must access you easily. They must bring in their complaints as easily as possible. So thank you very much. We are going to support you on this. Protection of citizens to ensure that they access authentic information from the right sources at the right time requires that all institutions work towards making their services easily available, accessible, and less costly to the general public. It is more compelling in Uganda's case, where the population is largely dominated by the youth who want to interface with the various duty bearers at all levels of government and have their issues addressed in real time. Therefore, any forward-looking government entity should be able to tap into this potential and provide user-friendly means of making its services accessible to the youth so as to enhance their productivity. And global challenges and increasing pandemics have further heightened the need to tap into technology advancements that reduce physical interaction and offer a safe space for citizens to access services without exposure to contagious diseases like COVID-19 and Ebola. For instance, the people in Mubende now cannot move, but there are so many human rights violations in Mubende and Kasanda even taking place now. So this app is really timely. They can now reach UNHCR without moving. And COVID-19 brought a new norm, and it's irreversible. Now we should go online as much as possible, and I encourage everybody now to start accessing services online. And as government, as I have told you, we are trying to ensure accessibility is worked on. We are going to work on the national backbone infrastructure. We're going to work on the last mile. We are trying as much as possible to reduce on the cost of internet. We think in the next 1 year it will be highly affordable. You should also know that to improve, because I've had villages don't access it, and to improve access to internet. As Uganda, we are proud to have launched our first satellite this month. But the one we launched is now going to assist us to accurately do weather forecasts, going to assist us in agriculture, to know how much rain we are going to get, going to assist us in looking at the soils and advising people what to grow. It is also going to assist us in issues to do with minerals, their location, quantity, and the like. But now our scientists are back on the drawing board. They are working on another satellite. And this satellite now, which we are working on, we want it to carry internet so that we go off the fiber and start using satellite. And that one means we can now access internet with ease, because the one of fiber has its own challenges, but satellite will reach everywhere. So that's what our scientists are doing now, and that's why we are struggling to pay them very well so that they can stay here and complete that satellite also. So when you hear we have enhanced their salaries, please bear with us. We want to do so many things in a very short time. And Uganda Human Rights Commission, as the national human rights institution in Uganda, is obviously mandated by the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda to inter alia establish a continuous program of research, education, information to enhance respect of human rights. There is therefore no better way to provide information to all people of Uganda without using a facility like the UNHRC app that finds everybody in their respective locations all over the country, and in fact, the whole world at any time of the services, or at any time the services of UNHRC are needed. Obviously, there are some people who are staying in the diaspora who feel their human rights is being violated. So I think this app will be very handy for them. The UNHRC app is therefore very important to enhance access to information on human rights, providing a platform for awareness creation, reporting human rights abuses and violations in the fastest way possible, and ensure instant feedback on progress of reported cases by complaints, which in itself promotes high levels of accountability and delivery of human rights. Besides, a quick look at the app shows that it will also enhance physical accessibility to UNHRC service offices all over the country for those who wish to access the offices physically, since the location and contacts are provided on the app. It will further provide useful links to legal services and available redress mechanism for human rights violations, which is in line with government's priority to ease service delivery to the people. My only appeal is assure there is someone who responds to everything, that any query put on the app immediately. Otherwise, once you don't respond, then people will hate the app and you will get very few visitors. But so long as there is any query, please respond. Even if it is a congratulatory message, say, it's my pleasure, so that someone knows you have read the information. It's important in communication that you respond to everything. Even if you get an SMS, say okay, or you put the thumb. You put the thumb. Learn how to put the thumb so that someone knows. It is also okay, it's human rights, but the thumb is better. But what am I saying? You should always show someone that at least you have seen the message. And please put someone ready to always respond. You will see so many other queries and you will get so many visas and you will get so many people interested in your work. Otherwise, with the technology, if people keep writing and you're not responding, they get tired and they give up on that app. The chairperson of Human Rights Commission has talked of meager resources. It is everywhere, even in ministries, but your work needs to be supported. And indeed, we need to go out of now boardrooms in Kampala. This app will be will be needed more in the villages than in Kampala. Because for us in Kampala, we can reach you. But the people who need this service are in those villages, up country. We need to go there and tell them about the app. And I support you. I'm going to take the message. You need resources to do that. We now have 32 million phone subscribers. 32 million people have phones now in the whole country, out of the 45 million plus. But as of today, I've just received statistics from UCC. We only have 10 million who are on internet. But we have around 22 million who have smartphones. But only 10 million are on internet. So we are trying hard to see how, just as I told you, people can upgrade their phones to go on 3G so that they can access internet. But we are also trying hard to assure accessibility and affordability of internet is handled, so that even the other 12 million who are not on the internet but have smartphones can now come on the internet. And we are going to work on that. We have the goodwill of Parliament. We are going to handle that as much as possible. But also, people need apps like these which can force them to go on internet. Because someone may not be having any need for internet. And sometimes we are even misusing it. WhatsApp, and the only thing is to talk to a girlfriend, to chat with the boyfriends, to chat with the children. And that's not what internet is basically not supposed to do, only that. That's just a very small, minor issue on the use of what? Of internet. We must apply it into business, into things like reporting human rights violations and all that. So what you have done now is good for government, because now people can report any violation at any time, wherever they are. Just as I've told you, we are turning post offices into service centers, so that even if you don't have a smartphone, you can go to a post office and you talk to the postmaster. That's why I'm saying you need to train as many people as possible. The postmaster must know how to access the app. And then he assists someone to register a complaint. So all those are things which we are coming up with, and they will be of help. So we want people to report as much human rights violation issues as possible, because as a government of NRM, we don't believe in violating anybody's what? Right. And that's why we have the Uganda Human Rights Commission, and it is operating independently. Because some of your reports hit us badly, but we receive it with a lot of respect. Because for us, that one is a plus for our democracy and our governance credentials. We condemn any violation of human rights in any form. And we shall support you. And we shall ensure you operate independently. Finally, I would like to appeal to all participants here, and more especially the media, and I underline the media, to ensure that the UNHRC app is widely disseminated, since it is a critical platform and a one-stop center for availing human rights information to the people. I request and at the same time encourage Uganda Human Rights Commission to ensure that the app is well maintained and utilized, and call upon the development partners here to support dissemination of the app and upgrade when required. The media, please talk about the app. Talk about the app and talk about it positively. The other day I saw a headline in one of the newspapers. People want to go for Christmas because government is planning to lock down. And everybody went into what? Panic. But the content is different from the headline. And that is not responsible journalism. What the minister talked about is not what is in the headline is talking something else, the minister is saying something else. Because the minister was saying, please, can you abide by the SOPs? If you don't, and the cases increase, then the country can easily go for what? For lockdown. But the headline was if government has decided that there will be what? Lockdown during Christmas. And the people started ringing us. Some of them started planning to go early so that Christmas finds them in what? In the village, which is really wrong. So I would like to appeal to the media. Now this is something positive. Talk about it. Sensitize the people. And for you, you have a very good platform. You are like churchmen. You know, in church, the priest comes and says, sit down, you sit. Stand up, you stand. Close your eyes. Then he says the mass is over, and you all what? Go. Now, even journalists, in our villages there, for me who come from Kasese, someone says the radio said. I say, he says the radio said, or the TV said. You say, but who said on the TV? He said, no, me, I heard the radio. He doesn't say, Officer Police Nanga did what? Said. Oh, Officer Vaide said. He says the radio said. Now, so whoever talks on radio is an authority. So if you report badly, someone will just hear what was talked on what? On radio, and not who talked it on radio. So what I want, I appeal to the media. Let us report responsibly. When we have something positive like this one, let us run it around so that people can know you can report any violation using a what? An app. You don't need to look for an office. If that can dominate the media today, I will be very happy. And it should dominate it because you are the biggest culprit. So you should tell your fellow journalists that there is an app. If they are violated, then they should log into the what? To the app. So me, that is my appeal, and that's why I stressed the media. Please, do report about this and disseminate the information. Finally, the government of the Republic of Uganda, under the leadership of President Yoweri Museveni, is fully committed to supporting the Uganda Human Rights Commission in executing its constitutional mandate. My ministry will offer all the required support. We are going to offer all the required support in terms of further development of this app. I'm going to talk to my technicians. They will work with your consultants so that we even develop it further. Because that is our work, and now we have the capacity, we have the technicians who can do it, we have every equipment that you need to do it. We have the innovation hub, because these are innovations, but you should also utilize our studios. We have studios at the ministry which can be utilized, but they are underutilized. Not even at our UBC, but at the ministry. You can go there and we relay information to all media centers. We have the capacity and we have already upgraded them. So please, you come and talk about this app. We shall give you airtime. We talk to the TV stations so that you relay live on all TV stations. But for us, we also relay on Twitter and Facebook at the same time. When you are in our studio, all media networks are on, and you can do that work at the same time. So I am very optimistic that we shall work together to develop this app, and we shall also work together to disseminate information to everybody. I thank you very much, and I wish you all the best. I think now we can launch the app. I thank you very much.
May I invite the chairperson and the other commissioners present, the Deputy Ambassador to Germany, a representative of GIZ, to join the minister in launching. Kindly, Commissioner, just close in a bit towards the, because it's being screened here. The systems guys, now I want to hand over the microphone to you to take us through and to tell us what is going to be happening, so that we are not green. We want to know what is being done.
Thank you so much, members who have happened to make it here. Now we are launching the app. Now what the minister is going to do is to download the app from the Play Store, which he has already done. He has downloaded the app. Now he's going to enter into the app and then navigate through any of our services of his choice. Yeah. There we go. He's now in the home page. Yes. So from there you see there are quite a number of categories of human rights. There's civil and political rights. There's economic, social, and cultural rights. And then, yes, he has chosen civil and political rights. He wants to know what is embedded there. So you can navigate. Those are basically informative and educative, teaching you some of those rights, which you may not actually know unless you go to the Constitution, really. Thank you.
Yeah, the civil and political rights, as you can see, right to life, right to personal liberty and security of person, freedom from torture, freedom of movement, freedom of assembly. These are about the state and what it does for the citizens, the relationship between the state and the people, and it is little wonder that the Honorable Minister has chosen that. Yeah, and your rights, which he has chosen, is human rights education. You can see how important it is. He directly went into to understand what are human rights from the app. So with that, the launch is done. The rest navigated. We would like to thank Honorable Minister, Chairperson, Uganda Human Rights Commission, members of the Commission, all of you, our ever responsive partners from the academia, from civil society. Is Mr. Nanga, I can see him there, and Mr. Baine, we are always together. The struggle to promote human rights continues. We thank you very much. Breakfast is still there. Who have just joined us, just click and use the app. The media. There's no, we can forget the media and NTV for the coverage. And all of you, NBS, BBS, I can't mention every media house. We recognize you all and we thank you. And like the minister has said, disseminate the app and positively. Thank you very much.